Just a few things about starting a company. I want to make sure that I give Carl the opportunity to talk more about this because it's more top of mind for her. I did this, years ago. But I do remember a few things on it. One is, and I'm interested in Carl's perspective on this and asking this question, is if I had known what I was getting myself into, I was only a crazy person to do it. So how many of you are actually thinking about, I shouldn't have said that first, how many of you are thinking about starting a company, being entrepreneurs? Okay, good, you're crazy, but I don't regret, I really don't. But had I known, for example, just one silly example. Now, okay, I'm sorry if I'm going to be telling you if you didn't know this already, that you have to estimate what your income taxes are going to be based on your income that you expect to potentially get when you're starting out from zero. And if you're off, by a certain amount over your first quarter or your first year, you have to pay a penalty. So just think about that. Let's see, I'm starting up. I'm hoping to God I don't go bankrupt. So I'm really hoping to get above zero. In my first year. And if I beat zero by too much, I have to pay not only the taxes, but I have to pay a penalty because I estimated what my income tax was supposed to be. And you put that down. And there's like 100 of those kinds of things out there. So I'm only going to tell you one because I really don't want to scare you off. I think that starting a company is a fantastic thing. But when you look at all of the things that, you look at our economy and say, well, we've got the best, startup environment in the world, you kind of go, it could be better. I'm not, there are things that could definitely be better about it. And then there's the things if you're coming from a, Fortune 100 company and you've got your own office and all that kind of stuff. There's the shock of, good grief, I actually have to do everything myself. I was lucky enough to be able to start with 2 other people. I think that anyone who started completely on their own, that's just another level of this is really hard. You've got to be a marketing person, a technology person, and all these kinds of things. So it pays to not really think a lot about the barriers and the hurdles because there's lots of them here. It's good to just kind of wait in there and work through those. I think if you think too much about the barriers, you probably wouldn't do it. So it's like I said, good not to dwell on those things. Well, I answer questions about it, but it would be exciting. And really, the penalties aren't that bad. If we did end up making money our first year, so yes, I did. One of the things about raising money, I'll give you my experience on that. I've been facing throughout this the choice of do I raise money for investment money coming in or sell the next deal that's going to be product revenue, or services revenue. And our company is more than 10 million, less than 15 million in revenue right now, and we've been at this for 17 years. And I've gotten, I've gotten a very small, way under, $1 million of outside investment, and that was only recently when we've become close successful. Here. So the decision all the way up until just a couple of years ago has always been, okay, I could chase getting investment, money, or I've got this potential deal here in front of me, and I can focus all my effort on closing this deal, here to license product to someone or services, and I don't have to pay that back. I just have to do the work that I committed to do. So for me, anyway, we self-funded, through this. And whenever I was faced with that choice, and really it came right down to that. I can spend, the next couple of months, a few times I actually did spend that kind of money with, or just kind of time with private equity investors and things like that. I could spend the next couple of months going through a business plan that I don't have in enough detail for them, and arguing and negotiating with them, or I can just go close this deal for the state of Texas. Get money back. So that's been our choice, and I'm not saying that that's the right one to make. There are definitely some people who've taken in funding and turned around, sold the company pretty quickly. You can get really rich, a lot faster than I'm not rich, so I'm not doing it very fast here. But But one thing I'll say about this industry, how many of you are thinking about starting a business or being in the education industry? Okay. I would describe it as it's a marathon, here to do it. I mean, if you think that you're going to be the next Google, here, I'm sure you've seen some of the headlines. You got one of your neighbors here, ConnectEDU, just declared bankruptcy last week. And in Bloom with $100 million from the Gates Foundation, just went out of business the week before. Everybody thinks that I've got the greatest idea, and you're probably right, you probably do, and it's going to take over the education industry by storm. But it won't. And I don't care how great it is, it won't take it over by storm, because we can talk about this. Things just don't change that fast. There's a lot of reasons that they don't. It's not for lack of ideas. It really isn't. So you've got to be prepared for the long haul. On this, you absolutely do. Even those companies that, if you look at wireless generation, SchoolNet, they took in venture funding, and they didn't make $1 zillion, overnight. But they sold out to Rupert Murdoch or Pearson, and got hundreds of millions of dollars over 15 years, not 6 months like some tech startups do. Really looking for the make $1 billion in the first year. It's like this is not the right industry, I don't think. For you. But even you look at those examples; those are some of the most, the highest valuation type examples in education, and they haven't worked out that great for the investors. The last couple of years, those have been going to News Corp and to Pearson. It's a tough industry. It really is. If you're just looking for get rich quick, this probably is not